all the functionalities are very handy. You can use it for programming. Now, as I talked about the data structures, like I'll mention it here as list, tuple, set, and dictionary. These are very important. You need to understand. Like today, we have seen these all rules, regulations about automatic handling without defining any import statements or data types, or even assigning a value to, like this is on the go, right? You do not have to call any variable, but still you are getting the accurate answer. But from this moment, if I talk about list, tuple, set, and dictionary, what you need to do is you need to understand the basics fundamentals which are occurring behind it, like automatically handled by the compiler, are very much you can say tricky, because those are stored in somewhere in library which is not visible in front of you, right? So I'll start with list literal. In depth, we are going to see tomorrow for all these four data structures. Like there are 50 plus functions where you can study for basics. Just to understand list, there are 50 plus functions. So we'll go with 15 to 20 functions which are used on regular basis by every project. Right. So the moment I define like fruits, now this is not a variable, like it is a variable but for the list, but it has a different concept. It will be represented by square brackets. Suppose I'm storing likewise. Now you can see the moment I gave here, it is giving me like under fruits. Am I having a nested list? That's why the cursor came here. This is indentation, but due to typo error, what's happening here is I'll give here a comma. That means this is the second element of my list, and I'll close my here. So this green bracket indicates that my list is over. Now I'll print here as the representation. Also, you see square brackets indicates it is a list. That's why normally only text you are not getting, you are getting it as elements of list named as fruits. Right? I'll show you the representation of tuple also. These are just representations. I'm not moving on to depth because that will be saying tomorrow. Suppose I want to store numbers, it will be represented by parenthesis. The output matters, because if it is executing and displaying it on the screen, these brackets will have some meaning and their functionality changes accordingly. For dictionary, now I want to store as alphabets. I'll use curly braces. Dictionary is nothing but in key and value pair. Like most of the time we store this kind of data in JSON format or in SQLs. Like so, if I want to store A for as apple, this is my key. I separate it by colon. Now my value, what I want to be associated with A, like apple. So this is my one value. This is my key and this is my value. This is how you represent a dictionary. Then for second value, separated by commas, again my key, separated by colon, and my value. Third instance, if I want to store, comma separated, my key, colon, comma, my value. Now I'll print this. Now it is case sensitive also. I'll change the variable name somewhat which is does not maps it. Now, you have to get to know for these errors, because you may have type error, name error, class error, object error, any other would be there. Now it is stating that name error is there, name alpha best. Now our name was alpha bets. Alpha best is not defined. That means which variable or object name I'm trying to display is nowhere defined it, right? And in case it is showing that at this is the line where you are having an error. So this is our third line. What we need to do is we need to use this same variable and we'll be displaying here. You can see square brackets, round brackets, and curly brackets. This represents list, tuple, dictionary respectively. Now going with sets. Sets uses the same brackets. If I want to store, suppose vowels, I'll use curly brackets. Now here, there's a difference. Now you would say that how does it identifies between dictionary and sets, even though they are using same brackets? Now see, here we are having in dictionary, we are having as key and value. Here, only values are present. And sorted by default from highest to lowest. These are default. Like data structures here in Python are so smart. Like everything is being handled by, right? So this is just declaration how these data structures, tomorrow we're going to see in depth how these data structures will have a transformation while using data, because this is not data like what you have seen here. This is not data. This is just a fundamental or traditional way of using variables, constants, and literals. Data is something else. Like it's oil today. Like if you can handle millions of rows and columns and the live data, and you can apply machine learning models and predict something out of it, like computationally fast, that fast, it gives you results which like earns you millions of dollars for your organization without hiring someone experienced, less probability of getting wrong inputs. Like your data should be good. That is the only need for any machine learning model. Your data must be good. If you provide good data, it will give you good results. Right? Then you can have more optimization, applying more data, more good data. You can